so it's gonna more comfortable for everyone to participate and have time to answer the questions and this kind of thing. I'm gonna send in the questions on chat. Please let me know if you guys can see. If there's any problem, you guys can talk with me. Remember that when you're in the small room, everyone has gonna appear for you guys a button that is right, help me. So if any problem happens, you guys can click on this button and I'm gonna receive a notification and I can help you guys, okay? So I'm sending the question now. Everyone, please check the chat and tell me if you guys can see. Everyone can see? Great. We are already live on YouTube, so if you don't feel comfortable to use your camera, it's okay. But remember that in breakout room, we don't have YouTube, we don't have live, so you can more comfortable because of that. I'm just giving one more minute and then we start, okay? So people who enter later, is there anyone here for the first time? No? Hi, Leticia. Good to see you again. I'm great. Your audio is like cutting. I can hear you very well, but I think I understand what you said. Okay. So I'm gonna create the breakout room now. And then, oops, only 2. It's enough. So guys, if you're not here in the main room with me, please accept the invitation to the small room, okay? And then everyone has the question? We can start?
No, I don't have the question, sorry.
Oh, okay, no problem. I'm just gonna send again. Please check your chat. You got it? That's wonderful. I'm gonna create the room again. Okay, so guys, have a good conversation. I'm gonna bring you guys back when it's 10 minutes to the end, okay? Until then, if you have any problem, contact me. Luana is going to be in the small room, so if you guys have any problem, you guys can ask for his help too. And that's it. Have a good conversation, be respectful, and I see you guys in a minute. Great. So you guys are gonna stay here with me, okay? So let's start with the basics. Please, guys, introduce yourself. And let's start with Daniela. Hi.
Hi everyone, my name is Daniela. I live in Minas Gerais, in the city of Ipatinga. I'm a nutritionist, and I'm here to practice my English to improve, and that's it.
That's great. Is your first time here?
No, it has been, I think, almost a month that I'm in the TNT, but I think it's the first time in your meeting.
Oh, I see. That's great. Hi, Miss. Hi.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm pretty good. What about you?
I'm just tired, but I'm fine.
It's Friday.
Yes, exactly. So please introduce yourself.
I'm Atamis, I'm 35. I'm a nutritionist and dietitian, a singer and embroidery artist. I'm from Caxambu, Minas, and that's it.
That's nice. Victoria, hi. Please introduce
Hi.
yourself.
My name is Victoria. I live in Fortaleza, and I'm 15 years old. That's it.
That's nice. So everyone has the questions right now?
Yes, I have just the number 10 that I think
Oh.
is missing.
Yeah, something got wrong. I'm gonna send you guys again. Oh yes, the number thing is just missing. So for today's conversation, we're going to talk about toxic positivity because I'm very sick of. So question number 10 is going separate because something's going wrong here. So that's it. Let's start. So I brought a few questions, so I'm gonna start. Oh, I didn't introduce myself. So hi guys, my name is Serena. I'm 24. I live in Minas Gerais, and I'm a hostess here on TNT since last year. I think it's almost a year that I'm here, and I still keep forgetting stuff, but it happens. So for today's conversation, that is the topic. And my first question is, have you ever heard about toxic positivity? And do you know what that means? So I'm gonna start with Victoria because you're the youngest, I think, if I heard correctly.
I never heard about toxic positivity, and I think it's not a good thing.
Because of the toxic word?
Yes.
Good guess. So how about you, Daniela? Have you ever heard about that?
Yes, I have heard about it, but I'm not sure, like, the meaning. I know that is something that when people always are trying to feel that, oh, I'm like very positive, but some situation is like very difficult to be positive, and maybe I don't know, people sometimes feel a little uh, sad about, I don't know.
Yeah, it's cool. So Asamis, how about you?
I've heard, but I don't know what is the main concept, like what is the concept, but I think I understand what is toxic positivity because I know people it's like this. Everything is ruining, and you have to put a smile on your face. You have to see the positive side, and that's, for me, it's a way to hide your real emotions, and that's not good.
Yeah. Well, I heard a lot about this. That's one of the reasons I wanted to brought this topic for us. And I didn't brought the definition because I wanted us to start with this speculation. But yes, toxic positivity, it's exactly what Atama said. It's when you keep trying to be positive, happy, and every time, all the time, and ignoring the other feelings, which is also biological, it's natural. So this is what we're going to discuss today. So for the second question, is like a way to introduce us to this topic. When something happens to you guys, how do you usually react? The question is writing in different ways. So how do you usually react when something sad/bad happens to you? What are the most common feelings that you have? Because first we need to understand what is natural, and then we need to understand why we try to push this away. So what do you guys feel when something bad, sad happens in your lives? And Daniela, please share with us.
So I try to reflect about what has happened, like to know what has happened and how to say, um, because I try not to take a decision very quickly. So I'm the person that usually takes a long time to process what has happened and then see what I'm going to do. So I I try to reflect about it.
But usually, how do you feel?
I think depends of the situation. Sometimes if it's something very I don't know that hurt my feelings, I feel angry, or sometimes I don't know, I want to push someone.
It
Yeah, but
happens.
yeah.
Yeah. I also feel angry, like a lot. It makes me want to smash something, but I usually can't control. So, Artemis, how does that work for you?
Depend on the situation, but normally I react when something sad happened with sadness. I think it's natural. And one sometimes, yeah, depends on the situation, because I normally, usually I'm angry at the first time, but I can get rid of the feeling very fast. So I don't reflect much, because if I start to reflect a lot, I kind of bring something else to this subject, and sometimes just one situation. I like to reflect about other things in other times, because I'm that kind of person who brings other situations to the one situation that grows and raise, and I try just the focus in that one situation, and I feel I feel my emotions, and I that's it. I have nothing. I don't have much to do. I just
Yes.
I don't know how to say acolher my emotions, but it's kind of this. I understand. Huh? Sorry.
Embrace.
Yeah, it's kind of embrace the emotions, and okay, I understand. I'm a human, and then that's it.
It's very complex when you talk about feelings and emotions. It's like crazy stuff. So, Victoria, tell us.
I usually feel sad and then cry, but then after that, I reflect what the right things that I have to do, and then I keep calm and do the right thing.
That's great. Yeah. And the third question, I like this one very much. So, you guys, have you ever felt guilty about being angry or having any kind of negative feelings? You know, when something happens to you and you just want to scream and smash something. Do you guys ever felt guilty about having this kind of feeling? And Athamas, because you're doing this.
Always.
Why?
I recently always, because I feel guilty about being angry, anxious, or sad, because I'm in a better situation than many people right now. So, and I used to hear from people, but you are in England, you have a job, you have a nice husband, and I said, I can't complain about my life. I'm not, but I'm feeling. So I feel guilty. So this is horrible because I can't say to anyone what I'm feeling because I can't feel. Look around you, look the world, look Brazil. You are not in Brazil. So yeah, I'm complaining right now about them. I can't complain, but it's kind of this.
You have, that is what toxic positivity is, when you invalidate someone else's feelings because you're always and constantly comparing with the other situation, this is kind of unfair. This exactly the point of this topic. So Daniela, have you ever felt guilty about feeling angry and stressed out?
Yes, like Atem say, for example, um, you start to complain something, and you at the same time you think about, oh, I have a lot of people that are in a very difficult situation that it is worse. And yeah, in this case I feel very guilty about complaining, but um I'm trying to do, like, for example, when I'm feeling this kind of guilty, or I try to, how to say, to move for another feeling, like instead feeling guilty, feeling grateful. So this is something that I'm trying to do. Like, okay, I'm grateful because I have food, I have a place to live, and to try to not feel guilty but grateful.
I see. Yeah. In Victoria, how is that for you?
Yes, I felt guilty when I feel sad because when I feeling sad, I think that I'm wasting my time feeling sad and not steady.
Oh, say, for me, I'm kind of exhausting of feeling guilty, because angry, sadness, they are all feelings. They are valid. If I'm feeling this way, it has a reason. So, uh, at these days, what I'm trying to do is instead of changing and look just on the bright and beautiful side of things, I'm trying to understand the ugly side of the things. Why I'm feeling this way? What is happening? What I can do? If I want to change, I believe they are our thoughts. It's very powerful in doing this job of changing, but usually I'm trying to understand and change the situation instead of only put the pressure in my mind to change how I feel, because I think I don't know, for me, it's not being a very good experience. But yes, I think it's great if it's working for you, and it's amazing because everyone works in a different way. So that leads us to the question number 4, and it's very likely with a time sad. When someone tells you about feeling sad because of something that happened, what do you usually do? Because we are gonna have to. Oh, no. Let's make the number 5 first. Have you ever told some tragedy and had an answer that starts with the sentence like, "It could be worse," or at least you still have other stuffs? When you're going and you have a friend and you're gonna tell them a situation that happens to you, and the first time the person says to you, "Oh, it could be worse," and "Oh, at least you still have other stuff," how that make you feel? And I'm gonna give you the answer for this first, so you guys can tell. For me, it's like I'm being invalidated and help me to feel guilty about what I'm complaining. So it's like, okay, what you're saying is not that important, and it actually could be worse, and then you have a valid reason to complain. So this is how I felt, but I want to know, how do you guys feel about this? So Vitória, have you ever heard this sentence? Like, it could be worse.
I think I don't remember, but I think I have this. I listen about it.
I see. And Daniela, have you ever heard about that?
Yes, like my mom, she used to do this a lot. Every time when I complain something, she say, "Oh, you need to look for another way." And yeah, sometimes I get angry because I just want to say something that I'm feeling. But at the same time, I think, okay, let's feel this feeling, the situation, and then I try to move on, because like all this type of feelings is transitory. Like, you are going to feel it like this way. Some people are going to say some stuff like that, and I know sometimes gets us angry, but it's everything transitory.
Yeah. And for you, Atalis, how do you feel when you heard this kind of thing?
I think it's unfair. Just this. I lost two brothers, and I heard people saying to me, at least you have other sisters and brothers.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is at least insensitive, you know.
It's like, it's horrible.
Yeah, I'm sorry to hear that. So the opposite. When someone tells you about feeling sad because of something that happened, what do you usually do? Do you use the sentence or you do something different? Like, how is your reaction? How you deal with this kind of situation when it's happened to someone else? And Daniela.
What is the question? What I do?
Yes, it's the question number 4. When it happens the opposite, you know, when you tell something to your mother and she say, "Oh, you have to be grateful for it." Ta-na-na, ta-na-na. When it's the opposite, how do you react?
When I do, for example, I try to do this. I didn't understand it.
If I tell you something sad and say, "Oh, Daniela, I'm sad because of this and that," what would you say to me?
Okay.
Because, you know, it's the opposite of the question number 5.
If someone try to open like what they are feeling, something like that, I try to listen. Sometimes like I don't have any kind of suggestion or something, but I try to listen and like say that with time this feeling is going to be better, and this type of thing.
And you, Victoria.
I reacted. Um, I reacted that I have to to be to keep calm and see the situation and talk with the other person, and that's it.
That's cute. Asamis, what do you do in this
I learned I have to just listen to the person, because I don't think we should say you should say to anyone how they should feel. about anything. We will never know. I don't have any advice or thing because I really don't know. I try to be supportive and be there because that's what I think. Maybe I'm wrong. People need.
Yes. For me, it was a long process until I understand that sometimes it's better to say nothing than make the conversation being about you. You know, when someone is telling you something, sometimes it's better you just listen instead of try to help and make the situation worse. For me, this is my personal experience. And yes, I agree with all that you guys said. It's basically what I do. So, question number 6. Do you feel like sometimes you just want to complain about stuff? Sometimes already said something about this. And do you feel guilty when you do? You know, um, I'm gonna start with this one because I'm living a very stressful period of my life because I have to finish my master and I have to write my thesis and whatever. But sometimes I feel like I'm just tired and I just want to complain about stuff like I want to scream. I want to say that I can't do it anymore. And I know it's something that is gonna pass, but most of the time you are not allowed to make this because there's always someone saying, oh, you should be grateful because at least you have a master, at least you have an opportunity to be in the university, at least you have a scholarship, at least you're able to finish, you know. And sometimes I feel like I just want to complain. I just want to sit for one day and say life sucks and don't feel guilty about it because usually I feel guilt about it because of all of these things, you know, and it's kind of complex and complicated for my mind because I can't process the this kind of thing. I mean, I know we can be grateful for the opportunity and at the same time complain about being sad and living in under stress. So I want to know if your guys is the same thing or is different. So please share with me. Daniela, does ever happen to you? Like you want to complain and you feel guilty about it?
Yeah, and I think depends of the frequency that you are doing this, like complaining. I think,
Yes.
for example, it's normal you complain a little bit, but if you do this like every day, like almost all the time, it's terrible because you attract negative energy for you, and this is like doesn't help you to move on to create new opportunities for your life because you are spending a lot of your time just complaining. Like this is my personal opinion because I have years ago that a phase of my life that I was complaining and everything was going wrong. So after I tried, okay, I tried not to complain this much. I think I start to feel better and see change in my life.
That's a very good way to see things. So Vitória, how about you?
Yes, sometimes I feel that, and I agree with her. It's normal, but when I feel that, I think that I have to do my best to change my situation and live better.
And Nathamis, how do you?
Yes. But and I avoid complaining because before I complain, I start to complain. I start complaining. I think I can't do it because I compare with myself. I compare me with myself. I don't know if this is right or not, but like the life I had before, like I've been in bad situations before, and now I compare it with my situation now, and it's not just others, it's myself. And yeah, I feel guilty, and I just don't say anything, and I keep for myself. And because people don't like to hear as well, or sometimes you don't like to think you should complain, and you the guilt make you like don't let the thing go out of you. So yeah, I do.
You said something very interesting, because sometimes it's not just about complain, you know. It's different when you just complain and when you treat your feelings. So yes, I usually keep my feelings for myself too, but we're gonna bring back to this topic at the end of the meeting, because I have something to say to all of you. So let's go to question number 7. Do you usually force yourself to be happy and grateful for everything? Or it doesn't mean that you have to be ungrateful. Sometimes you're just indifferent to something, but I usually don't force myself to be grateful for everything. What I do is force myself to understand and see things in a different way. Sometimes things that is majority negative, I can look and say, okay, it's not completely negative, but it doesn't mean that I'm grateful for this kind of thing. It's just that I am accepting. So how do you guys deal with that? Do you force to be positive and grateful, or what? So Atamis, what do you do?
I'm not a grateful person. I'm very no, I'm not. I said 2 days ago in a meeting something said, what can you say some reason to people being grateful and happy? And I couldn't, because I couldn't lie.
Okay.
So and I'm not ungrateful, like you said, but I think grateful to whom? Grateful for what? I don't know. I think it's like you have to when you're grateful. I'm a very happy person. I'm not unhappy. I'm happy all the time. It's really not common. I'm being sad or no way. But like feel happy, yeah, positive. That's not. I'm very realistic person. So I think when you feel grateful, it's because you feel you have to I don't know the word, but you have an obligation with something or someone or some. And I don't think I'm living for have obligation to anyone. I live in a society, but I don't owe anything. So I'm not grateful in this way. I'm not a religious person as well. I was, and I that was a big guilt part of my life, because I was guilty all the time, and oh God, and I'm not anymore. It doesn't mean I don't believe in God, but I'm not religious, and I think no, I have a sister. She's grateful and happy for everything, and she has depression as well. So it's like, as I said before, hiding the real feelings.
I see. So Daniela, what do you think about that?
So for me, I don't force. I feel like natural. For example, I love sunsets. I love. And sometimes I'm looking like the sky, and I see like the change of colors, and I feel like happy that I'm looking the sky and see the colors. It's like it's natural for me, a natural feeling. Like I was very young. I like sunsets, and I think for me, like great gratitude is for this, like the moments, not just for the people or the things that we have, but the moment.
I see. And for you, Victoria, do you usually force yourself to be happy and grateful for everything?
I don't force myself to be happy all the time because I think that in life we have happy moments and sad moments. It's not all the time happy.
Yes. And I think the thing that makes us even different in all aspects, including this one, is our experience, our background, the kind of life we have. So sometimes it's easier for someone, or he was raised in the way that his mind can work like this, and others just don't. So I think it's okay, everything is valid. But yeah, I also don't force myself. So question number 8, and I like this one very much. Do you believe that everything has a positive side, even the worst tragedies? How do you guys deal with this kind of thing? What do you guys think about this? And I'm going to start with Daniela.
No, some tragedies I don't think have like good positive side. Uh, but yeah, like the daily things that is not tragedies. I think we can have a learn, but I think very dark or tragedies, like I don't see like a good positive thing.
Yeah. How about you, Victoria? What do you think?
I think some situations have a positive side, but a serious tragedy, we don't have a positive side.
And for you, Artemis, I have a few guesses about your answer, but please share with us.
I think so. I think yeah, there's a positive side if you get the lesson from the tragedy. But I don't know. Is it's positive? Is a right word? But I think so. Yeah. If you learn the lesson from the tragedy, yes, I think so.
I see. For me, it's a no. It's a big no. Like, I don't think everything has a positive side, because I understand what when you said, oh, if I learn something, but I believe that sometimes you can live without learning this kind of thing, or you can learn in a different way. So for me, not everything has a positive side. There are a few things that are completely and negative. It's like, please make this stop. And I'm not just bringing an example that I remember because of the hour and because you have under eights here, but yes, it's a no for me. Question number 9. Do you think that is possible to be so usual for us? Oh, and a comment. I think that sometimes we think about positive side because it's a way to get comfort, even when bad things happen. So when bad things happen, usually very uncomfortable to deal with that. So it's like a mechanism that we have to search for the good thing, even in the chaos. You know, I understand that it's happened, but I think it's not for everything. Now I finished my line. So question number 9. do you think that it's possible to be so usual for us to think about positive as a way to avoid dealing with the negative emotions? As I said before, do you think we use positive and let's look to the other side as a way to avoid dealing with the negative side? And how, why, when? So, Daniela, what do you think?
Yeah, I think a lot of people are trying to hide their emotions and try to be positive, and they are not dealing with the negative. And I read a book very interesting, and it's called Self-Compassion. And in this book was saying that when you try to resist like this suffering, like the pain, more you suffer when you try to ignore this type of feeling.
Wow. I think I agree, but I'm gonna think about it. So, Atoms, what do you think?
Yes, I think. Yeah, but sometimes now I will I will be opposite almost everything I said, because sometimes you have to move on to a positive way to let the thing go, because sometimes you are in like a hurricane with bad emotions, and you're there trying to deal with that, and you can't, because there are some things that happen in your life you just can't understand or can deal with, and you have to move on, and you have to see the different side of the thing to keep being alive. So I think yes, we do, but sometimes we have to do to still being alive, or alive, I say, not just the physically, but mentally. You have to get out in a way, and sometimes this way is just turn your point of view of the thing. So sometimes it's not true, sometimes not, but you have to do.
Yes. And Victoria, what do you think about that?
I think we have to see the reality and and do the right thing, and not do or not think that other thing is in a positive side, and and be compassionate with us myself or something like that.
I agree with everything that you guys said. And as Artemi said before, I don't feel like this being a contradiction, you know. Once a friend gave me this analogy, and I think about this every time that I feel like I'm changing my opinion about the same topic. It's like when you're cleaning a room, you can never clean the entire room without moving your position. So sometimes we just have to, even our thoughts and our opinion about stuff have to move out of place and question, oh, what I was thinking about this in this specific case is still valid? I still believe it. So I don't think this being a contradiction. I think it's a very good way to evolve and build a line of thinking. And yes, I think we use this as a mechanism. I think I'm not sure, but I think it has a biological explanation for this. And we also have this way that we are raised about our parents always want us to be happy. We never learn how to deal with negative emotion, negative feelings. And when bad situation happens in our life, we just don't know how to react, what to do. So I think everything that we do, it's valid, you know, I mean, when you're not hurting someone else, because we actually don't know how to deal, what to do, and, you know, it's very complicated. But yes, I think it's a possible way to live to survive also. So last question, and I'm gonna bring the guys back. Why do you think we usually see negative feelings as something unnatural that needs to be pushed away? Because as I said before, we are not teach to deal with this kind of thing. We, at least for me, I always grew up listening stuff like, you can be like this. You have to change for something different. I mean, I understand that it's not healthy at all, but why we always have this impression that it's not natural? Why you guys think this happens? So, Danielle?
I think because it's not comfortable, like it's something not comfortable. And when you are feeling this type of feelings, you want to like something to hide or like to go away very easy, very fast. And 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 it's painful to deal with this type of feelings.
Yes. And you, Victoria, what do you think?
I think the people think that because of the social media, because they think that the lives of the people are happy, but it's not. It's not in this way. I think that the people have to see more about it, because we have to be humans, because humans have the negative feelings and positive feelings.
Yes. And for you, Thomas, what do you think?
Because we are taught, and because, as Daniela said, is very painful, and we want to get rid of this very fast. I think it's ugly. Sometimes people are crying is beautiful, but normally
Usually that's not happening.
it's ugly. So put a smile on your face. You're so beautiful. So it's like this kind of things. I think, yeah, and we avoid to show people, and they avoid to show us. And Victoria said something very interesting about what we choose to show, to not just in the social medias, but in life. We show we are better than we really are. And so when I saw someone I know for a long time crying or saying something rude, I said, I didn't know you were like that. So I think because we hide, and we've been taught to hide, and it's ugly and painful, all the things.
Yes. And I have this impression that sometimes we do this because when you show other sides of you, it makes us feel vulnerable. And we once had a TNT about this, and we usually don't like to feel vulnerable. So we chose how we're going to present ourselves, what aspects, and we're going to show. And usually this comes in a beautiful package made by smiles and, you know, things like this.
I did this today. When I wanted to cry, I turned off my camera. So exactly that we did.
I mean, we're live on YouTube, so I'm like, you know, I completely understand. I really have done the same thing, the exact same thing. So guys, welcome back from the breakout room. How was the conversation? What do you guys talk? We only had one small room, so we have time for all of you guys to say something. So Kyle, how was the conversation? Yes, I got you in surprise.
It was great for me, great conversation. We had explained something about toxic positivity. In my opinion, toxic positivity is it's about ourselves or about myself. For example, it's a state of mind. It's not about other person. It's about me. For example, when I change my point of view about something bad with in my life, I change the point of view with another person. When I smile more, I change the state of mind with another person, for example. Then it's for me, it's about state of mind and about myself, not about others. And when bad things happen with in my life, uh, I I think about that with resilience. It makes me feel more resilient. I find other person to talk about my vulnerability, then solve that. Of course, something that I can't change I can't change bad things with in my life sometimes, but I can change my state of mind, then change the point of view with another person and my group and my place. I think about that with this.
Okay, thanks for sharing this. Very interesting.
Thank you so much.
The guy with the glass and the blue shirt, I have no idea how to say your name, so please introduce yourself to me.
My name is Ajit, and
Ajit.
yeah.
Okay. How was the conversation for you, Ajit?
It was
Oh my
very
God, it's
good.
so hard.
Ajit.
Ajit. É tipo agito. Mas, ok, vou fazer essa lembrar.
Yeah, it was very interesting. We all had different views and ideas about how to handle it, and I think I got to understand different viewpoints, which was interesting. Kayo had some good views, and so did Leticia, Lydiana. So it was a good conversation. We went through why there is toxic positivity. We spoke about how social media influences it, because we always want to show our positive sides to everyone. We spoke about, like Kayo said, how it can be a mindset, and how Vidyana expressed about what she thought about it. So I think it was a good topic, and we had a good conversation.
That's great. So, guys, as I said before, TNT takes place for us to practice English, but we also brought very personal topics. As I said on the main room, I thought this topic because of me. It's because I'm living it these days, and it's very good to hear very different opinions. And this is a place for this. Practice English and also learn and talk about life and stuffs without judgment. But something very important that I want to say is I don't know how this happened in the breakout, but here on the main room, we talk a lot about feelings and dealing with feelings and emotions. And I just want to make a serious comment about this. That is, everything is natural and normal at certain point. So if you guys feel like something's not okay with you, don't be ashamed of asking for professional help. Here is a safe place to share, and we can always listen, but we're not that qualified to help if we're doing something serious. So especially in the kind of days we're living, in a pandemic, and our lives it's like upside down. Take care of yourself and your mind. I think it's very important. It's also that important as washing your hands and using your mask. And that is the thing I would like to say in the end. I appreciate everyone for coming and all the opinions you guys brought and have. You guys are amazing. Everyone already received the feedback because I'm very efficient today. So there is no excuse for no putting the feedback. So please do that. Check your email box or even your expand. The feedback is important, not for me personal. I mean, it's important for me. I like feedbacks, but it's also important for the TNT as an instructor. So we can know what you guys think, what kind of things we can do to make it better. No, and the host, you guys can put my name, Serena, and it's very quick, very short. It can be in Portuguese or in English and anonymous. So
It can be in English. I haven't found
yes, it can be. It can be in English. And that's it, everyone. I'm not gonna put us down.